Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are back with the Ritual Festival, but this time, instead of playing ritual decks, we are going to be playing non-ritual decks. That's right, I'm going to be looking at the best non-ritual decks, or decks that don't actually use ritual monsters, for the ritual event, and we are starting off here with Vanquish Soul. Vanquish Soul lost one card. That was it. They lost, well, I guess they technically lost Max C, but so did everyone. They lost Rock the Vanquisher from the extra deck, which does help the deck consistency, or the deck's consistency, quite a bit, but all in all, the deck still functions. And it's Vanquish Soul. Basically a meta deck, not really meta, but like right there on the cusp of meta, and yeah, we're playing against like, what, Makonko? This is actually a really good matchup for us because of Mad Love. Mad Love can basically just bounce any of the Makonko cards. It can bounce the Blue Eyes cards. It can bounce whatever you want. Just deal with it. Just go away. Because basically all of the ritual monsters, for some reason, have terrible stat lines. Or more specifically, terrible defense, which is hilarious. So, let's just quickly do the card by card and the explanation. Starting off with the Fires. I'm actually going to do this by attribute instead of by anything else, because it just makes more sense to do it that way. Starting off with the Fires, we're playing 2 Divicarnate. This card is ass. This card's just really bad. I don't really know how else to explain it. It's just bad in this deck, but you need it because it's fire. Then we're playing triple Ash Blossom, triple Raisin, and of course the triple Xiaolong. Pretty self-explanatory for those. Next up, we have the Earths. We have the 1 Ghost Bell, the 2 Pantera, 2 Pankratops, and of course the 1 Caesar Valius. And then the Darks, we're just playing the 2 Mad Love and the 2 Heavy Borger. Realistically, you could play another Dark, like for example a DD Crow or something like that. I don't know if DD Crow is even playable, but you could. Honestly, don't really feel like it's necessary, especially since Heavy Borger as well as the Mad Love are just by far the best ones anyway. So yeah, you don't really need anything besides those. Moving on to the spells, we're the 1 Roto, the 1 Prosby, triple Stake Your Soul, double Durandal, triple Droplet. Droplet is very important, or it's just very good because of Makonko, so there's that. We're then playing the triple Infib, 2 Continue, 1 Dust Devil, 1 Snow Devil, and 1 Solemn Judgment. Honestly, I don't know if 2 Continue is correct. Maybe you play 2 Snow Devil. Doesn't really matter. As for the extra, just stuff. Let's hop into the replay and show you how this deck performed. Alright, so here we are going first, and, well, it's not the greatest, but we did draw Heavy Borger, so at the very least we can go Stake Your Soul, activate the, or reveal the Heavy Borger, summon out the Mad Love effect, chain the Heavy Borger to special summon it out, grab Dust Devil, activate the Heavy Borger, draw a card, and it's an Imperm. We'll set 3 and pass. I could have set the Continue there, but I'm worried about things like Harpy's Feather Duster and Lightning Storm, so I don't decide to set it. And my opponent is playing the Megalith, which is pretty interesting, because luckily, Droplet and Infib are very good against this deck. Having targeted effect negation is very strong, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good here. The only thing that we really need to worry about isn't even full, it's actually Bethor. So I'm just going to sit here and wait, and out comes the Ophiel from the deck. I don't know why they decided to do it this way, but yeah. I actually negate the Ophiel here, and this may seem weird, but I know that Ophiel, if I negate it, it prevents the ritual summon and prevents the search, and I know that they have a Bethor in hand, so if they are able to get that search, they're able to summon that Bethor, most likely from hand, so I do want to try and cut that off at the very least, and Bethor is a hard one per turn, so I'm just like, cool, I'll just droplet it, it's fine. So yeah, that's kind of the idea there. They search up the Ben 10 because they're playing Cyber Petite Angel, which is a weird normal summon, but okay. And yeah, they did have the Aeratron anyway, so they obviously can summon the Bethor. Kind of misplay on my part with the Ophiel, but not that big of a deal. Again, we just go Droplet. We're going to pitch the useless Ghost Spell and just negate there. They're then going to go for the Dynamondo, which allows them to shuffle away 2 of their cards. I'm going to try and draw a card here. And another Imperm. Imperm's not bad. They're going to deal a bit of damage, and we're going to pass the turn. So, not really a whole lot that I can do here. And then I draw Raisin. Fantastic. I'm just going to normal summon the Raisin. They're immediately going to tag out to grab the full here, which is a bit annoying, but honestly, there's not really a whole lot I can do about this. The full is going to tribute itself as well as the Ben 10 in order to go into the Bethor number 2, and yeah, they're going to wipe my field. Except for the fact that Bethor targets. Did you know that Bethor targets? Now we get to special summon out our Borger and tag out the Raisin. I'm just going to draw an additional card, and hey, Xiaolong is really nice. Why? Because now we can walk over the Bethor. Fantastic. So I'm just going to walk over the field and set the Imperm, set the Continue, and pass. Again, at this point, the only thing I have to worry about is Bethor. We're going to draw a card, and that is a fantastic draw. Being able to grab an additional tag-out target, especially being able to grab the Caesar Valius to put back the Heavy Borger, is very, very nice. So they're going to go and activate the the Talismandra grabbing up the full, I believe they grabbed to hand. And then they're going to add back the Bethor. They're also going to ritual summon here. The full effect is going to activate. Again, all of this is fine. The only thing I'm really worried about is that Bethor. And I already have the Imperm, so, you know, there's that. They're going to go for the Haggith. Again, just like letting all of this through. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Unformed to activate the effect. They're going to ritual summon from deck an 8. That was 16 levels, by the way. The 6 from the Benten, the 6 from the Talismandra, and then, of course, the 4 from the Haggith. That is 16. That means that the Eritron comes out, which actually gives them target protection. However, at this point, I'm pretty certain that they don't have a way to actually summon the Bethor from hand, right? They would need the Bethor. They would need, they would need a ritual monster like a Phaleg, an Eritron, or a Bethor. They would need the Bethor, and then they would need an 8 as well in hand, which would require them to have 3 8s, or at the very least a 2, an additional 2 off of the 6 that they can search with the Benten, but I'm pretty sure we know that that's just not possible, given the cards in hand. I'm going to, during the end phase, just activate the Xiaolong in order to flip the full into attack position, and then I draw a second Raisin, which is fantastic, because that means during the draw phase, we can actually search out a Heavy Borger here. And I know what you're saying, why are we searching the Heavy Borger? Well, the main reason for this is because Heavy Borger actually allows us to bounce an additional card, meaning if they do end up getting the Bethor onto their field, we could just bounce it. But I don't really need, like, an Earth or anything like that, even though I do have the Caesar Valius, because, well, I'll show you. So we're going to go to the main phase here, and I'm just going to normal summon the Raisin and not activate the effect. My opponent will activate their full, and I go, cool, that's awesome. I have the Eritron Dead to Rights here, because I can just chain the Raisin, reveal the Dark and the Fire, destroy the Raisin, and now I have the ability to activate my Imperm. They're going to go and tribute off their full, as well as the Benten, to go into the Bethor, and I just negate the Bethor, and at this point the game is over, right? They're going to target my entire field. That's cool. Not going to happen. Imperm, the game is over. My opponent concedes after this point as well, so good game. Alright, and here we have the last of the non-ritual decks that's actually pretty good, and that's Warrock. Warrock's such a bad deck that they never get limited in any of the events, so yeah, here's full power Warrock. It didn't lose anything, except for the extra deck, which matters, because now he can't make DPE, but who cares, because Warrocks. So yeah, let's just quickly do the card by card and the explanation. If you don't know what Warrocks do, they focus on the battle phase by utilizing things like Warrock Mountain, as well as their actual monster effects to generate advantage. Fortia can search after a Earth Warrior monster battles, and it increases the attack of monsters until the end of the opponent's turn. This guy gets a second attack on monsters. This guy can attack directly. This one can boost during damage calculation. This one pops a card on pops a spell trap, which is nice. And this one can special summon itself. Pretty self-explanatory there. So we're playing 3 Fortia, 3 Goktos, 2 Wento, the 1 Mahmood, 1 Meteoragon, and of course 1 Bachilios. As for the rest of our cards, we're playing the triple Mountain because it searches a card and it gives battle protection, and if you only control warriors, you can special summon a Warrock monster from your hand with a different name from those on your field. Medium can search out the Mountain and the Dignity, while also floodgating your opponent, which is kind of funny. And the Dignity, which is actually just a negate, kind of. It's a really bad negate, but it's still a negate. As for the rest of the cards, it's just a whole bunch of going second staples, things like Pank, Kaijus, Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, Monster Reborn. We're playing Rhoda because, of course, we are. Triple Lightning Storm, the Triple Tactics Silence, and a Triple Tactics Thrust, Pot of Prosperity, and 2 Called By, the 1 Droplet, and the Triple Infib. As for the extra, we're literally not playing it because it's funnier. No, that's not true. There's just like 6 random cards. I think I literally just threw in like 6 random cards in there. I've never summoned any of them. They're just there for Prospeed. So, that's it for the deck. Let's hop into the replay and show you how this deck performed. Alright, so here we are going second, and, yeah, well, we didn't draw a Mountain, but it'll be fine. Promise. So, they're going to start off with the Libromancer Bonded, as well as Fire Burst. They're going to grab up the Libromancers. Then they are going to go and activate the effect of their Bonded after setting a card, and go for the Libromancer Doombroker. Doombroker effect is going to activate to set them a trap. We have Lightning Storm, so this should be an easy cleanup. Lightning Storm, Pankratops is pretty good. And we draw Wento, which is also one of the better of the draws. And then they have a negate, which is really weird. So they negate and then special summon the agent. Then I special summon the Pank, and they just immediately fire off the displacement, which is very funny because, or displaced, sorry. Which is very funny because I can just chain and pop the monster. Well, I'm going to deal as much damage as I can, which is 37. That's it. I'm going to set Called By and pass. It's Libromancer. I know that they have a Fire Burst in hand, and I know that they have a Doombroker in hand, so maybe they do something. Harpy's Feather Duster come down, and then I go, okay, well, that last card in hand better be something. They're going to go ahead and activate the Foolish Burial Goods in order to, or extra Foolish Burial in order to grab up Libromancer Mist Girl, which is now just, I don't know, they decided to kill themselves. I don't know what's going on here. It didn't really matter because we had the Gokdos in hand for the lethal push anyway, but yeah, Lightning Storm, cool. Alright, and here is Rescue Ace, another deck that is a ritual deck, I promise, in the ritual event. So, yeah, Rescue Ace just, like, is fully playable, again, similar to Vanquish Soul. I don't think it's as good as Vanquish Soul, just because Vanquish Soul right now is just better. But yeah, we also don't have Emergency, so there's that. But yeah, Rescue Ace is still pretty decent. Being able to set 4 and pass is pretty nice. And then you can also play additional back row and hand traps and the like. So here's the list that I made. We are playing triple Hydrant, triple Impulse, triple Airlifter. We're playing 2 Fire Engine and 2 Turbulence, and that's it. That's all the Rescue Ace monsters. I'm not playing any of the other, like, we're not playing Fire Attacker, Monitor, or anything like that. I just don't think it's worth it. Then we're playing 2 of the Gizmek Naganaki, and the reason for this is because basically it special summons Hydrant. You normal summon it, and then you special summon a Hydrant. We're playing 2 of it, it's okay. Then we're playing a whole bunch of hand traps and the like. The 2 Gamma, Gamma's just really strong. So if you can play Gamma, play Gamma. Triple Ash Blossom, we're playing 2 Triple Tactics, we're playing 2 Droplets, triple Infip, and of course 1 Solemn Judgment, because it's funny. As for the rest of the cards, we are playing the 1 apiece of Reinforcement of the Army, 1 for 1 Pot of Prosperity, 1 Rescue, Alert, Contain, and Extinguish, which are our 4 targets for the Turbulence. Yes, you could play things like the, the Reinforce or what have you. I don't really think it's worth it. Definitely could, but not that big of a deal. And then we're playing 2 HQ and 2 Called By. As for the extra, doesn't matter, just throw cards in there. And let's hop into the replay and show you how this deck performed. Alright, and here we are going first with... It's a hand. We'll go with that. So we're going to start off with the Airlifter. We're going to normal summon that. We're going to activate the effect. We're going to grab up Alerts, because it just kind of is the best one. We're going to set to 2 and pass. There's not really much more that I could do. I could potentially, like, just keep Gamma alive by not activating the Airlifter. But I think this is probably the correct play. And then my opponent reveals that they're on Makanko, and I go, damn, I shouldn't have summoned anything. Anyway, out comes the Makanko Okime. They're going to pitch Okime, which is going to be their death sentence, and you'll see why in a second. So out comes the Okime. They're going to special summon it. They're going to send a card to the graveyard, and I'm like, that's totally fine. They're going to then send the Arabesque. I want to actually get the Arabesque into the grave, because it being in the grave is far better for me, and I have the Called By for the second Okime, so Okime is going to be negated after they activate their effect. Cool. Yeah. Rescue Ace. This is Rescue Ace, I promise. It's not just a whole bunch of hand traps. Anyway. They're going to go and activate the Hidden Armory, and they're like, aha, I gotcha. Oh, crap, Ash Blossom. So, yeah, no. We're going to go to the draw phase and draw Contain, which is actually also still very good. Now, granted, Ohime is still negated, so we just walk into the Ohime, sets 2, and pass. We now have the Alert, we now have the Contain. I'm feeling pretty spicy. They grab the third Ohime. You gotta love it. Ohime activate the effect to grab up the other great Makanko Ceremony. They're then going to activate the Ceremony. They also pitched Lava Golem, which is very funny. They're then going to activate it to grab the Arabesque. I'm going to contain that. Say no, no, no. Not allowed. They're then going to activate the effect in order to send another card to the graveyard, which is the Steel. I don't know, whatever it is. I draw Infip, which is nice, but yeah, they're going to go and activate the effect of the Makanko in order to grab the Arabesque onto my Airlifter, which now does make Gamma live if they activate it, so they activate it, and out comes the Hare. I activate my Gamma, they activate Ash on this for some reason. I do not know what is going on. I was just going to get the Gamma onto the field, basically. I don't know why I wanted to do this. I guess I really did want to prevent them from getting the Equip spell, because it's scary. But yeah, we're gonna go and negate, and they negate my Gamma, which is like fantastic for me. Now I can use that Gamma on their Ohime that they have in hand, but we're gonna draw for turn, which is another Infip. I'm like, well, I'll just set the Infip and have Gamma live, and then they just concede. I don't know why they decided to concede there. Maybe they didn't really have anything left, you know, they didn't really have many of their Equip spells left, or what have you, but Rescue Ace, good game. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.